right, let's look at the Teaching and Learning in Community Colleges schedule. This is a tentative schedule. We'll try and stick to it as much as possible. Since we're online, weather sometimes can be a factor in the winter months, but it shouldn't impact us at all because we're online, unless we happen to have something where the weather gets us during spring break. Highly unlikely, but we'll cross that bridge if we have to when we come to it. You can see session 1 here in the schedule. Begin the week of the 18th of January. The session will open up and you can go in and access all the material for that week. I'll do a course introduction. You got this syllabus review, that's a part of that. And then we'll have you read through the community college history. You'll see over on the session materials side what the reading assignment is, and some of these sessions are broken, some of these chapters in the book are broken down into just halves, so you may only cover a part of one of the books halfway, so be sure to read the session materials so you'll know where we are that week. For instance, in one of our textbooks, the Effective Teaching, a guide for community college instruction, you're going to do the introduction, read the introduction all the way to page 7. That's really only about halfway through the first chapter or first section of that book, but you're only going to do that much. And then you'll read the first section of Teaching for Learning, 101 Ideas. So you'll do the whole first part of that book. And then you'll do the discussion board activities. You won't have to do a teaching method plan that week. I've done one for your review and for you, so you can see it as an example of what you'll do the following week. In session 2, begins January the 25th. You can see what we're going to move through as far as topics go and the reading assignments. You'll pick up from 7 through 13, and in the Teaching for Learning 101, you're going to do the discussion method. So the first week is lecture, and I'm going to handle that. Week 2, we'll start with the discussion method, and you will develop a teaching method that week. So you can approach that and be ready to turn that in by the end of the week. In session 3, you'll see topics we're going to move through in both texts, and then also the reading assignment 15 through 26 in the Effective Teaching book. And in Teaching for Learning, we're going to be looking at reciprocal peer teaching, so how those different peer relationships work. We have a discussion board activity, just like we do every week, and then another teaching method in practice related to that Teaching for Learning topic. Same thing for session 4, 5, 6. You can see we just move down the way. I will say session 4 is the article review as article critique as well, and you'll see it there in the session materials. Your reading assignments, we're going to be looking at academic games during session 4. You will have the discussion board, teaching method practice like you do every week, but in addition you have that article critique that week as well. Session 5's pretty standard, 6 standard, 7 same thing, 8 pretty much the same thing, but you're gearing up to come to class that next week. So on the 16th, which is a Wednesday, you will be in class on campus, and that's when we'll do our presentations. We'll have some discussion about the material up to that point, answer any questions, and then we'll just have a good opportunity to meet and teach. So you have an opportunity to get some hands-on experience there. And that's the same for the 16th and 17th. I may have a few surprises up my sleeve as well, but I think that will be a good opportunity for us to see not only the material that you produced, but also it in action. You can see on the next page the methods of assessment for this course, the different point values and how they break down. 20 points, 35 points. The single biggest point value is your weekly teaching methods in practice. That's 140 points for all of them during the 8 sessions. And then you will teach one of those, and that's 100 points, 25% of your grade during our course meeting. And you can see below that the breakout of the different grades and how they're established. The rest of the syllabus gives you some basic policy information from the university standards, whether you have financial aid concerns, if you have a disability need, we can address that. It needs to go through the Student Affairs Office so they can have that documented and provide what I need in order to provide accommodation to you. The honor code's listed there. Final course grades for any of you who may be graduating. We have to get those in just a little bit early, but we'll be finished, because if you'll look at the syllabus, even though we have a 16-week spring semester, this course we will essentially be done by week 10, because we're meeting the contact hours we need to through our regular weekly meetings, spending at least 3 to 4 hours probably on reading and assignments that you'll be working on, and then 2 8-hour sessions or 16 hours together in class. Then you will meet the requirements that you need, and we'll be done with the course so you can concentrate on other things towards the end of the spring. A couple other policies there related to children and cell phones and grading. Just look through those, and then I would encourage you on the last couple pages to look at the important dates that are upcoming, and also the rubrics, the grading rubrics. This is how I grade. You'll know exactly what I'm looking for, because this is what I will follow when I read your papers or look at your assignments or critiques. I'm going to be following along with these critiques or these rubric sheets so you can see. And I may even send a couple of the weekly ones. I'll try to send those out to you the first couple weeks so you'll kind of see how you're doing, and then after that I may or may not send them, but you'll have a good idea of what I'm looking for as far as those grading requirements go. On the things like article critiques, I probably will send you the actual rubric so you can see kind of where it fell out and how your grade was, or how I arrived at the grade. That's the syllabus. So parts 1, 2, and 3 of this little video. I will try and communicate through video as much as possible. I like to do it because you get to see a face, and it's not just reading material. So if you want to send some back or communicate that way as well, I'll be happy to receive those if you'd like. So we were going to get started with the first session, and if you have any questions, again, please let me know. Email the Blackboard or email me at my regular email address. And if it's something course related, I'd like to try and keep it in the Blackboard email. That way I can send it out to everybody else if you ask a good question that I need to address with everyone. So if at all possible, I do check Blackboard on a regular basis, so feel free to go there first, and then if you don't get the response you need, then certainly you can touch base with me through my regular administrative email. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great semester. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a very important topic. I'm glad to have all of you in the class, and I'm looking forward to learning with you as we approach the topic of teaching and learning in community colleges. I look forward to seeing you in a few weeks, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye.